Howdy, YouTube land. Okay, I'm going to stop that right away. I literally did that just to show you that I do in fact own a Stetson. And it is my favourite hat. And I love it. But no. If you don't already know, I am Cal McKay, writer of the Aerial Escape Steampunk series. And an avid cosplay and anime watcher. This is over rum. The rum I am drinking is imported Jamaican rum, imported from New York, don't ask, with Dr. Pepper. And over rum is where I talk about cosplay and anime and other things that are important in my life. Well, not really, like, hugely important, well, I guess they're important as a hobby, but just clarifying that I have other things going on in my life, like work and rum. I'm sad. No, I'm not. I'm actually quite happy. This video's already getting away with me, so let's bring it back. Okay. This is where I talk about cosplay and anime. And people actually asked me quite a bit about this in recent weeks since Alcon, which was obviously last week. So it's been in recent days more than anything else. As well as actually at Alcon, because I was showing people this. And a lot of people have asked how I got my physique from 19 stone to just under 17 stone, as well as building the muscle I did and the muscular control that I did. And I thought I'd do a video dedicated to that. So this is more about if you want to cosplay a big character, like Bane, or the Hulk, or Thor, quite frankly, most male superheroes and supervillains from the Marvel and DC universe. Lobo, original Lobo, of course, not skinny Lobo, not skinny, whiny Lobo. If you haven't seen, if you don't already know, if you haven't seen my Oversider videos, I complain about the new Lobo a lot. But you can go and watch Oversider number 2, Lobo, for that. This is about developing your physique. A lot of what I'm going to talk about is more dedicated towards people who care more about getting their body in line rather than wearing something like a muscle suit. I'm not saying that because muscle suits are bad, it's just if you're like me, you want to become your character. And also it was a good reason to get in shape and start working on my body, which I really needed to do. I mean, if you saw me... I mean, I'll post a link to the Imgur thing below, which is entitled Road to Bane, which was my 3-month process of going from 19 stone, 40 to 44-inch waist, with fat just hanging everywhere, to just under 17 stone, 106 kilos, increasing my arms to 18 inches, decreasing a lot of fat on my chest, and going down to a 38-inch waist. In fact, I've actually gone down to a 36-inch waist recently, so I've lost nearly 8 inches in 3 months. The thing is, though, this isn't... A lot of what I did isn't a sustained exercise regime. The exercise itself, it's high intensity, meant to be done over a short period of time. It's not designed to take over your life. I'm going to put that out there right now. This is basically what bodybuilders do. And if you know much about competitive bodybuilding, those guys wreck their bodies. So, yes, follow this regime, but don't follow it longer more than 4 or 5 months, or half a year at most. I'm not saying don't exercise the rest of the year, because obviously you need to keep yourself in shape, but this is the kind of thing you only do once a year, or once every few years, because it is high intensity, it really messes with your body, and you have to be so careful. You really do. But I'll get to why it's dangerous as we go through. Starting off, in the first month, well, the first 2 to 3 weeks, I did all my exercise at home. Every day before I went to bed, and I prefer to work out before I go to bed, because I find it tires me out before I sleep. So it kind of helps me relax and sleep, and it gets rid of the stress of the day. I was doing a lot of calisthenics, which, if you don't know what calisthenics are, it's no weight, high resistance exercise that use your body weight. With that, I was doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of crunches, running on the spot, mountain climbers, anything that got my heart rate pumping and my muscles working using my own body weight was what I used for that. And those exercises are really good. I did that to start getting my metabolism going, and as well as that, it was also to build my confidence so that I could go to the gym as much as I was planning and not feel worried about people judging my body. Anyway, the next 4 weeks after I'd done that, I started doing circuit classes. Because I got on this program that is in all of the UK. I'm not sure if it's in America. You might want to check with your local government body or whatever. Because what it is, it's called the Live Well program, and it's for people over a certain BMI to get go to the gym for free to get healthy. That's the whole point. And with me, I did 4 weeks of circuit training. Then I got a gym pass for the 6 weeks before Alcon. So literally, I was only at the gym for 6 weeks straight to get that body. But I had the 6 weeks before that to get me ready to get that body. Well, this body. In the circuit training, it was 1 hour a week, and it was lots of different exercises. You could do this on your own. You just need a few bits and pieces. Just Google circuit training, and you'll find it. And I saw vast improvements just in that. Then I started going to the gym as well as that, and I actually worked out I was going to the gym. This is including circuit training as if it were going to the gym, because it's still going out and training to a specific regime. I was working out I was going to the gym 4 to 6 times a week, every week, for 6 weeks. And I was there for at least an hour, if not 3 hours some days. Which, again, is why I say you can't sustain this. 3 hours at the gym, even once a week, your body will go into very severe fatigue if you're not used to that kind of training. And you need a lot of recovery fluids before and after to allow you to work normally after that kind of workout. I'll get to formulas and recovery stuff in a bit, because that's supplements that I took to help me get to where I am now. But at the gym, I use this thing called a targeted week-by-week system. And what that is, every week, I set out which part of my body I was going to hit the hardest. And every day at the gym, even if my muscles were juicing and just already in depletion mode, I would hit them as hard as I could. And basically, I looked at the machines that were available to me, and the gym that I go to is a really good gym. It's Springwood in Derby. And they have a lot of kit. I would definitely advise anyone take a look at that if you're interested in training, if you're in the Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire area, because it's really easy to get to. It's just in Chaddeston. But no, if you want to see a video where I talk about the exercises in depth, go to my Over Water. I did a whole video on that. But this is just this kind of exercise regime is really good for forcing muscle growth, increasing your metabolism, and forcing fat loss. It's one of those kinds of regimens, and it works. I'm not going to say it didn't, because you can see the results, and I can tell you the results. But if you do it, you will see results very quickly, because you are hitting specific muscles continuously, forcing them to work harder and faster. I literally went from biceps that were 12 inches to 16 inches in less than a week. And then it was just forcing my triceps to grow, which was kind of a nightmare, because my triceps are quite underdeveloped. Even now they are. That was a nightmare to get them to grow, but I managed to get them to grow those extra 2 inches, which is why I now have 18-inch biceps, which was my target. And then obviously you've got cable crossovers, which are absolutely great for chest. But if you're doing chest exercises, remember, it's not just about going across your chest. Because that was a mistake I made, and it wound up causing my left chest to grow much quicker than my right chest. It's also about hitting them from the top, diagonally downwards, and from the bottom, diagonally upwards. Because that way you'll fill in this middle part, it'll force them to grow much quicker, and it'll burn fat better across the entire thing. It will also connect your shoulder muscles and your clavicle to your pectoral muscles, so it stops misaligned growth, which is something you really want to avoid if you are cosplaying these big characters who, if you look at anything, these characters have like perfect muscle definition. Don't go for that. You will not get that. If I was really going for Bane, I would have 0.5% body fat. And if you know anything about body fat ratio, I'd be dead. I could not live with that for maybe a week. That's a fact. I especially couldn't live with it because Alcon is all about getting drunk. It is. The nickname for the place is Alcoholicon. So, there we go. And I'm a member of the pirate clan. If I don't drink, there's something wrong. But no. So hitting specific areas continuously is really good for rapid growth, but that's not something you can sustain for long periods of time. Also, the thing is, I kind of dropped leg days. The reason being is, when I was younger, I did a lot of powerlifting, so my legs, and rugby playing as well, so my legs are really well developed. They are. I've never had an issue with my legs. Yeah, there's a bit of inside leg fat that I'd like to get rid of, but other than that, they're just blocks of muscle. And I'm not the kind of guy that walks down the street wearing shorts, so I'm not bothered about developing tone in my legs. I'd rather develop toning in my body. I have gone back to doing my leg days, obviously, because it is important to never forget your leg day. But again, that's an overwater thing. The last thing I'll talk about is, you can work out what exercises are best for you. And these exercises I'm talking about are all about muscle growth. But there is something that will help you if you're looking for pure fat burning. And what that is, I did a video on this about supplements and things you can take. And in that, the main two things that I will always recommend to people is protein, fibre. Protein and fibre, I should point out, is one thing, because it's protein shakes with a fibre supplement. If you don't know why, then just ask your doctor. It's really quick. The fact is that high protein diets are more likely to cause constipation. And nobody really wants that. Nobody wants to not poop. So yeah. So that's really important. If you are having protein shakes or protein smoothies. With the protein smoothies, it's not so much a problem because obviously you're mixing it with fruit anyway, so you're getting the dietary fibre you need. But with the protein shakes especially, make sure you've got fibre to throw in there. Otherwise, you will mess up your stomach, and I did. So this is a warning from someone that knows what happens when you do that. I mean, I was on soy protein, so there's some fibre in there, but it's still not enough. So remember to keep your diet in check, otherwise... That's why I'm saying this exercise routine isn't something you can do for long periods of time. I would only recommend it for, at most, 4 months. At most. Then just have protein shakes straight after exercise. Don't meal replace. Don't use them as meal replacements. Facebook. The other thing I took, which was really good for fat burning, was a product called Grenade. You just need to Google it. It is kind of expensive, but at the same time it's not so much. It's about 40 quid for 100 tablets. And you take 1 tablet, or 2 tablets, depending on what your caffeine intake is like, directly before you train, and it forces you past the wall. I'll do an overwater video about the wall, because that's the problem with this. A lot of this is crossing over into what I talk about in overwater. So I'm just saying, take a look at overwater for full-on workout stuff. But it gets you past the wall within 10 minutes, And once you're past the wall, you are ready to burn through your fat reserves like no one's business. Grenade is a product I would severely recommend to anyone that can take it. Don't buy it until you check with your doctor, because it is unbelievably high caffeine, and a lot of people that are overweight do have heart problems. This is a fact. So I'm not going to recommend you take something without talking to your doctor about it, because I don't know what your diet's like. I don't. Random viewer number 746, or I'd like to call you Dave. Hi Dave. Please tell me how you do with this exercise if you decide to do it. If not, leave me to my crazy workout regimes, and I will see you for the next video. See you guys.